Yes, it is possible to run a ladder-type tray inside the drywall partition, provided the following conditions are met. Firstly, the tray must be listed for use at a concealed space. Secondly, the tray must be securely fastened to the studs or framing members of the partition. And thirdly, the tray must be accessible for inspection and maintenance. Specific conditions to keep in mind are a tray size of 12 inches in width, a tray length of approximately 3 feet, and branch circuit cables using type TC cable AWG smaller than 4/0. Ensure the tray is large enough to accommodate the number of cables required. Allow sufficient space around the cables for proper heat dissipation. Verify if the panel boards have knockouts or openings suitable for connecting the tray. Consider providing an access panel or removable section in the partition for maintenance purposes. There are some alternative ideas that can be explored. One idea is to use flexible conduit, for example, liquid-tight conduit, to run the cables from the tray to the panel boards. This eliminates the need for derriting and provides some flexibility for cable routing. Another idea is to explore if it is possible to reposition the panel boards further away from the drywall partition, allowing more space for cable routing. As another idea to explore, consider using cable bus instead of cable tray. Cable bus provides a more contained and organized approach for routing cables, reducing the need for derriting. To ensure code compliance and safety, it is highly recommended to consult with a certified electrician or electrical engineer to review specific project requirements and provide the most appropriate solution. Let's delve deeper into the considerations for running cable tray inside a wall, focusing on code compliance, safety, and practical implementation. Firstly, code compliance is paramount. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for the installation of cable trays and wiring methods. It's crucial to adhere to these regulations to ensure the safety and legality of the installation. Verify that the cable tray is listed and labeled for use in concealed spaces, as this is a fundamental requirement. The listing ensures that the tray has been tested and certified to meet specific safety standards for its intended application. Also, make sure to review local built-in codes and regulations, as they may have additional requirements or restrictions regarding cable tray installations within walls. Secondly, safety is a critical aspect to consider. Cable trays must be installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of electrical hazards and ensures the protection of conductors. Proper grounding and bonding of the cable tray system are essential to prevent electrical shock and ensure a low impedance path for fault currents. The NEC provides specific requirements for grounding and bonding cable trays, which must be followed diligently. Ensure that all metal components of the cable tray system are properly grounded to the building's grounding electrode system. Thirdly, tray size and cable fill are important factors to determine the appropriate size of the cable tray and to ensure that it can adequately accommodate the number of cables required without exceeding its fill capacity. Overfilling a cable tray can lead to overheating, insulation damage, and potential fire hazards. The NEC provides guidelines for cable fill in cable trays, specifying the maximum allowable percentage of cross-sectional area that can be occupied by cables. Take into account the size and number of cables to be installed, as well as any future expansion plans, when selecting the tray size. Fourthly, heat dissipation is something that should be kept in mind. Electrical cables generate heat when carrying current, and it's essential to provide adequate ventilation and spacing to allow for proper heat dissipation. Insufficient heat dissipation can lead to conductor overheating, insulation degradation, and reduced cable life. The NEC specifies minimum spacing requirements between cables and cable trays to promote heat dissipation. Consider the ampacity of the cables and the ambient temperature when determining the appropriate spacing. Fifthly, accessibility is another important aspect that should be noted. Cable trays installed within walls should be accessible for inspection, maintenance, and future modifications. Provide access panels or removable sections in the wall to allow for easy access to the cable tray system. The location and size of access panels should be carefully considered to ensure that they provide adequate access to all sections of the tray. Sixthly, secure fastening is a code. Cable trays must be securely fastened to the wall studs or framing members to prevent movement and ensure stability. Use appropriate fasteners, such as bolts, screws, or clamps to attach the tray to the wall structure. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for fastener spacing and installation. Seventhly, panel board connections is a consideration. Verify that the panel boards have suitable knockouts or openings for connecting the cable tray. The connections must be properly sized and installed to ensure a secure and reliable electrical connection. Use appropriate fittings and connectors to transition from the cable tray to the panel board. Now, let's delve into the alternative methods for routing cables from the cable tray to the panel boards. Firstly, flexible conduit is an alternative. Flexible conduit, such as liquid-tight flexible metal conduit or LFMC, provides a flexible and versatile solution for routing cables from the cable tray to the panel boards. Flexible conduit allows for easy bending and maneuvering around obstacles, making it ideal for tight spaces. It also provides protection against physical damage and moisture. When using flexible conduit, ensure that it is properly sized and installed in accordance with the NEC. Secondly, cable bus is another alternative. Cable bus is a prefabricated assembly of conductors, insulators, and enclosures that provides a convenient and organized approach for routing cables. Cable bus offers several advantages over cable tray, including reduced installation time, improved aesthetics, and better space utilization. It is particularly well suited for applications where a large number of cables need to be routed in a compact and organized manner. Thirdly, repositioning panel boards is an alternative. Repositioning the panel boards further away from the drywall partition can provide more space for cable routing and simplify the installation process. This may involve relocating the panel boards to a different wall or area, or simply shifting them slightly to create more clearance. When repositioning panel boards, consider the impact on other electrical systems and equipment, as well as the overall layout of the building. Fourthly, using surface mount raceway is another alternative. Surface mount raceway provides a convenient and aesthetically pleasing solution for routing cables along walls or ceilings. Surface mount raceway is available in a variety of materials, including metal and plastic, and can be easily installed using screws, adhesives, or other fasteners. It is particularly well suited for applications where it is not feasible to conceal the wiring within the walls. Fifthly, individual cable supports are another alternative. Individual cable supports, such as cable ties, cable cleats, or cable hangers, can be used to support and secure cables that are not installed in cable trays or conduits. These supports provide a simple and cost-effective solution for managing cables in a variety of applications. When using individual cable supports, ensure that they are properly sized and installed to provide adequate support and protection for the cables. Now, let's summarize the recommended approach. To ensure code compliance and safety, it is highly recommended to consult with a certified electrician or electrical engineer to review project requirements and provide the most appropriate solution. A qualified professional can assess the specific conditions of your project, including the type of cables, the number of circuits, the ambient temperature, and the building construction, and recommend the best approach for routing the cables from the cable tray to the panel boards. They can also ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards and that it is performed in a safe and workmanlike manner. In addition to consulting with a qualified professional, it is also important to carefully review the NEC and other relevant codes and standards to ensure that you are fully aware of the requirements for cable tray installations. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for the installation of cable trays, including requirements for grounding, bonding, cable fill, heat dissipation, and accessibility. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your cable tray installation is safe, reliable, and code compliant. Furthermore, it is important to select high-quality cable tray components and accessories from reputable manufacturers. The quality of the cable tray system can have a significant impact on its performance and longevity. Choose cable trays that are made of durable materials and that are designed to withstand the environmental conditions of the installation location. Also, use appropriate fittings and connectors to ensure secure and reliable electrical connections. Finally, It is essential to perform regular inspections and maintenance of the cable tray system to ensure that it remains in good condition and that it continues to meet its intended purpose. Inspect the cable tray for signs of damage, corrosion, or overloading. Also, check the cable connections to ensure that they are tight and secure. If you identify any problems, take corrective action promptly to prevent further damage or hazards. In conclusion, while running cable tray inside a wall is possible under certain conditions, it requires careful planning, attention to detail, and adherence to applicable codes and standards. By following the recommendations outlined in this discussion and consulting with qualified professionals, you can ensure that your cable tray installation is safe, reliable, and code compliant. Remember to prioritize safety, code compliance, and accessibility when designing and installing cable tray systems. Take into account the specific conditions of your project and select the appropriate materials and methods to ensure a successful and long-lasting installation. By following these guidelines, you can create a safe and efficient electrical system that meets the needs of the building and its occupants.